Hello there, my beautiful movie peeps. Appreciate you clicking on this video. I bet you were like, finally, dude, where you been? I have a good excuse, guys. She said no, and I spent the whole week crying. Nah, who could say no to all of this? But apologies for being gone a couple of days. I decided to take a trip I've been planning for a while, got engaged, and I just wanted to celebrate the week. So that is why I haven't been active on my socials. But your boy is back, and it's time to lock in, because, dude, a lot of movie news has happened, and I've got to fill you in. Some of the things we'll be discussing here today, guys, is we got a trailer for a movie I've been wondering how it's going to turn out. Clown in a Cornfield. We got Will Smith confirming that he's finally making Hancock 2, The Heavens is Screaming. We also got some new details about Spider-Man 4 that I think are both awesome news and slightly scary. Oh, we're gonna be talking about that along with so much more. And today is Friday, so it is still live stream day. And because I was gone for a good amount of days, I'm still having so much more movie news to discuss when it's live stream time. So please, if there's any news story that happened during the week while I was gone that you really wanted to hear my opinion on, comment it down below and I'll add it as a topic to today's live stream. But these are some of the stories I also definitely wanted to talk about with you guys. All right, so let's jump in with this trailer for Clown in a Cornfield. The reason I've been excited for this movie, it's because it's one of the like 4 books in my life I've actually read. Yeah, they say don't judge a book by its cover, but dude, this cover, when I saw it, I was like, oh, red book cover. And I just thought it sounded awesome. A clown, I like those. A cornfield, that's scary. The redness, I'ma check it out. And it was a pretty fun read. I enjoyed it, and then I heard they were making a movie. And now we finally have the trailer here for Clown in a Cornfield that, yes, as you can imagine, is a clown slasher movies. Now, clowns for a while seem to be all the hype and rage. A lot of people are scared. I lived through the clown sighting days. I think a lot of us did. But I do think now we're at a time where maybe a clown horror movie is a bit of a cliche. It's a bit of another one. Because we had Pennywise, who's made it on the list of highest grossing R-rated movies, and you have the underrated king going around right now, Art the Clown, who's just kind of taken up that killer clown hole in our lives that's been missing for some people. But hey, we still gotta give a chance when a new one pops up. And looking at this trailer, I am 50-50, all right? I'm gonna be honest. There are things about this that I am like, this could be good. I might end up enjoying this one, mainly because of the director of the movie, Eli Craig, who did the movie Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, a movie I highly recommend to you as a horror fan. It is much more of a comedy, but it plays on horror tropes in such a clever, funny way. I think you'll enjoy it. And it's because of that movie that gives me hope that this will also be good. But my hesitation kind of comes in when I was watching this trailer. It did feel like an outdated clown slasher movie, like something that maybe should have came out 10-15 years ago. And although yes, this looks like it was actually made on a decent budget and wasn't made for pennies, it is still kind of giving me a little bit of that cheap vibe. Not so much in production value, but in just what it decided to show off to us. I guess what I mean by that is if at the end of the trailer it said going straight to VOD or a streaming service, I'd be like, that makes sense. The premise, I think, is also just pretty simple. It's about a girl who moves into a small town with her father. This small town has had this like corn syrup factory where Friendo was kind of the mascot, and almost everything around this town revolved around that corn syrup factory. But it burnt down, there was a tragedy, and now all these years later, someone is dressing up like Friendo and taking down people. Like I said, I had a good time reading the book and I enjoyed it, but I don't think it's anything crazy. I'm just kind of hoping the director can bring in some of that fun from his Tucker and Dale movie into this clown film. So I'm gonna give it a chance, but there are some things where I was looking at it going, I don't know if my expectations were a little different on this movie. Heck, I'll even say the theatrical poster they came out with, not good. But the tie-in book cover for the movie, that should have been the official poster. That's a much better poster. I don't know. Throwing it off to you guys. How did you feel about Clown in a Cornfield? Do you think it's a little cliche to try and have another random clown killer out there? What kind of vibe did you get from this film? Whether you read or didn't read the book, love to hear your opinion down below. Next up, one of the first things that happened while I went on my vacation trip is we got our first look to Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey with Matt Damon playing Odysseus. And this one photo alone, dude, it got me insanely hyped because there was a part of me wondering, is Christopher Nolan gonna go all out with the fantasy and Greek mythology aspect of it all, or is he gonna water it down or maybe do a different type of modern interpretation? And no, this looks like it's going exactly the direction I want for this Christopher Nolan movie. One really funny thing that happened though is when this photo was released, for some reason Universal then copyrighted their own post. And if you've watched movie YouTubers for a long time, you'll know Universal is one of the worst companies that copy strikes almost every little thing that's connected to their movies. And it's so funny they hit themselves. Friendly fire. But yeah, every update we get about this movie is looking exciting. I know the other day we just got an update that Mia Goth was added to the cast, and it looks like she could end up playing a siren. And I think that's just almost perfect casting. Looking at this cast, man, I can't wait to see what some of these people end up playing in terms of Greek gods or monsters like Cyclopses. We know Tom Holland's in this movie, but he's most likely going to end up playing the son of Odysseus, which I was kind of hoping Tom Holland would have ended up being the main character. But once I knew the plot, I was like, yeah, I don't think Tom is old enough to be the main character. But hopefully he gets plenty of screen time. I love this. What did you guys think of the first look of the Odyssey? Something else that randomly happened that I'm hoping ends up coming to fruition, and it's not all just talk. We had Will Smith do a live stream with XQC. I'm familiar with him. I can do impression of him. Okay, what do you guys? We're going to talk about some movie news today, and more these movie news is going to be very exciting and good to talk about. Perfect XQC impersonation, huh? But during this live stream, he did talk about some of his upcoming movies, some that we already knew about and is confirmed and is headed down the pipeline, and that's I Am Legend 2. He said that me and Michael B. Jordan have sat down for about a week and went through character stuff. For the sounds of it, it looks like this is the project he'll be ending up filming next, and dude, I cannot wait. I really do like I Am Legend 2. I do think it's funny that they're gonna have to follow the alternate ending, the one where he ended up surviving, but who cares? Will Smith, Michael B. Jordan in a movie? Dude, that sounds like it's gonna be fire. But the thing that I'm not gonna lie, I have been wanting for the longest time, Hancock 2. Will Smith revealed during this interview that he has approached Zendaya for a role in the movie and that it is in the works. And I think your immediate train of thought with this is that, oh, well, Zendaya's obviously going to be playing his daughter. Could be the case, but with the way things ended in the last Hancock movie is he didn't really have a love interest, and unless he is dating someone of his own race and species, not really possible. So I wouldn't be surprised if Zendaya is her own character, not related, and is maybe part of the same species that Will Smith is from, and we get some expanded lore and world building on where they came from. Because I know Hancock is almost kind of like a comedy, but that movie I thought was pretty interesting in the way they set up how he has his powers, how that works. Yeah, it had its funny moments and whatnot, but it also had some pretty serious, cool moments. Like, it's almost a good parody of an average superhero movie before the superhero boom that we live in today is everywhere. So it seems like the perfect time to bring in Hancock 2. I hope it happens. Now, the last one I need you to make, Will Smith, and I'm not even kidding, because I feel like this is another great relevant movie, I, Robot 2. Make it happen. How do you guys feel about Will Smith and these sequels he's making? You excited for Hancock 2 like me? Bring us to some more serious movie news that is also pretty dang exciting. We got revealed of the next Martin Scorsese movie that is going to be starring Dwayne Johnson, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Emily Blunt. Just with that cast and director, I'm in. What is it about? Oh, it is described as The Departed meets Goodfellas. Okay, 10 tickets now. With a more specific detail going, the film follows an aspiring mob boss who fights rival crime fractions for control of the underworld of the Hawaii Islands. 20 tickets! Dude, yes, let's go. Martin Scorsese brings it. Look, I know some people hate Dwayne Johnson, and I don't blame them, especially when you hear about the stories of him peeing in water bottles or being late to set where he's costing people millions of dollars, but I do really respect that the guy is like, hey, I'm being made fun of, my performances are being laughed at, let me try my hand at some serious stuff. And he has that A24 movie coming up where he almost looked unrecognizable. Hopefully he nails that. And now wanting to work alongside Martin Scorsese, where he's obviously going to be the lead Hawaiian mob boss. And it looks like Leonardo DiCaprio will be another mobster trying to take over his territory. let's see that freaking happen. I'm excited for this. The only downside to this movie is that this film, as of right now, does not have a home. So there are studios currently bidding on who can own this movie and release it. And some of the studios bidding right now are Netflix, Apple, Amazon, and Warner Brothers. You'll notice out of those 4 studios I mentioned right now, 3 of them are streaming services, and the only big studio, Warner Brothers, the one that is like hurting for money the most right now, it looks like a streaming service is gonna win this movie and it'll end up going straight to streaming. Now, if Apple or Amazon ends up winning, there is a good chance that then it will be released in theaters at least for one weekend, but more than not, this will be a film that just ends up going to streaming. And I just feel that kind of sucks. I get as a movie fan going, oh, dude, that's awesome. I basically get to see this movie for free in the comfort of my home. Let's go. But I do really believe that sometimes movies that go straight to streaming have such little impact. There was like a Netflix executive a week or 2 ago that said if Oppenheimer was released on Netflix instead of theater, it would have the same impact and everybody would talk about it the same way if it didn't go to theaters. And I'm like, heck the frick no. I don't think it would. It would have a nice impact for the weekend it came out, but as soon as Monday hit, movie is forgotten about. But either way, still a movie I'm looking forward to. I want to know your guys' thoughts on this next Martin Scorsese film. Moving on to something I almost never talk about just because my knowledge of the property isn't there, but I thought it was so interesting. We got an update on the James Bond franchise and what the future of the film world is, and the James Bond community is pissed. It got revealed here that Amazon will officially gain creative control of the James Bond franchise in a new joint venture deal. Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli will remain co-owners of Bond, but are stepping back to focus on other projects. And this is a very sad time because it just feels like the franchise is maybe selling out, or it's gone corporate in a way where it's going to lose a lot of its heart and charm. I can't really speak too much on that because your boy has never really watched a James Bond movie in its entirety. I know, but that was just a franchise I never got into or was interested in. In fact, in a weird way, Austin Powers is my James Bond, and I know that's ironic to say because Austin Powers draws a lot from the James Bond franchise, so it's like, how could you even enjoy the parody of the thing you don't even know it's parody? And well, that's just the conundrum that is 3C Films. But I sympathize with the James Bond fans here, man, because immediately after this was done, Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon, got online and was like, all right, who's your pick for the next James Bond? And maybe he's just joking or trying to be cute, but it's like, that's really a good foreshadowing of what you're gonna get now for your next James Bond. It's not gonna be somebody that has a vision and is willing to go in a different route, because although I didn't watch him, I remember when Daniel Craig was cast as James Bond and people going, this guy, oh, he's gonna be awful, doesn't even look like a James Bond. Why would they pick this dude? And people ended up loving him, and I would see the reception of the movies. People like this one, people don't like this one, the good and bad from them. I think fans would agree, at least it was a new take, it was a refreshing look at James Bond, and it kept the franchise alive instead of repeating the same old things. With something like Amazon and asking people, who do you want to be the next James Bond? Henry Cavill? Okay. It seems like it's going to be the most fan servicey, generic James Bond project. But who knows, man? Maybe they end up making something amazing. I mean, the one thing I will say is Amazon has the money and the crazy amount of dollars to blow. So it's going to be an expensive looking James Bond movie, but will it have that heart and charm that some fans expect from it? Please, if you're a James Bond fan or if you're an outsider like me, how do you feel about this? Bringing us now to talk about some Spider-Man 4. Oh, I had to throw in this one here because I've been seeing new rumors and rumblings on Spider-Man 4 that I'm dying to talk about with y'all. Okay, so for one, we had Daniel RPK, who's recently been on a really great roll. Some of his most recent scoops just keep coming true. So his track record has really gotten stronger the last couple months. And well, he let it know that Spider-Man 4 has been described as a new take on the character. It will have a new supporting cast. Daniel Destin Cretton will be taking this film in a new direction. Okay, that starting off point, love it. And that's kind of what I was hoping for with the change in directors. I've said what I love and dislike about John Watts. Got to meet him in person. I think he's a great guy. But to me, it was definitely time to try and start doing something new with Spider-Man and have a new creative vision flair there. And knowing that that's exactly what they're going for, especially with like the new supporting cast, hopefully we get introduced to people like Harry Osborn and Gwen Stacy. I know eventually they're still going to bring back Zendaya and Ned Leeds somehow, but I would like some newer faces or maybe maybe Spider-Man to have more of his classic group of friends there. But the new direction part is really what's kind of exciting me, because we don't have to reboot. We get to keep Tom Holland and stay attached to this Spider-Man, and I do like Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and I think it'll be kind of exciting to see him in a different spotlight with this new direction. But I did mention there was some piece of Spider-Man news I found a little scary that could be good or could be bad. It all depends how you look at it. Earlier in the month, we also got this update from Daniel RPK about how they were gonna film Spider-Man, Avengers Doomsday, and the Odyssey. 3 movies that will be filmed within the next 6-7 months, all kind of back to back to back, starring Tom Holland. How is he gonna pull that off? And well, we now know how it'll kind of be done. It says here, a stunt double with a Spider-Man mask on will film some of Tom Holland's scenes for Avengers Doomsday while Tom is busy filming the Odyssey. Tom will film scenes as his Peter persona for Doomsday when he's free. Part of me is leaning towards this is good, because it means we're just gonna get a lot of Spider-Man in the mask doing Spider-Man things, and Avengers Doomsday is already gonna be so jam-packed with probably other heroes and situations. But I was really wanting to spend the time with Tom Holland's Peter Parker, because we left him in a pretty sad place after Spider-Man No Way Home, and Avengers Doomsday is technically the next time we see the character. I kind of want to know what the boy is up to and what's been going on, but maybe we'll save a lot of that development then for Spider-Man 4, which is probably the better spot. I also think it's more of a positive than a scary thing that we won't see a lot of Tom Holland but more Spider-Man, is because the Doctor Strange spell that happened after No Way Home is still in effect. So everybody remembers and knows Spider-Man. They know he was there for Civil War, for Infinity War, Endgame, was one of the heroes that helped out everybody, but nobody knows who is under the mask. That is still a mystery. And so I wonder how they're going to play that off in Avengers Doomsday when it's time to go in, they have to fight, and then people are like, Spider-Man, or, you know what? How come you never let us know who you are, man? You know who all of us are. Why can't we see who you are? Or is that not even going to be addressed, and he's just going to take it off and then be like, oh, that's what you look like under that mask. I mean, that's something they got to address in Doomsday. And you know that's already going to be a jam-packed movie with so much other stuff. Are they going to have that? I remember hearing earlier reports that Spider-Man was kind of going to be the main character of Doomsday and Secret Wars, just because he's the most popular hero that the Avengers have right now that the audience would love to see more of. So we'll see how they handle that. But okay. There is some Spider-Man updates for y'all. How are you feeling on this, and what do you think the good and bad could be? Anyways, guys, that is all the movie news I currently have going on for this video. Stay tuned for the live stream where I'll be talking about so many other things I couldn't fit into this side flick. And if you don't want to stick around for that live stream, that's fine. Just subscribe to the Clips channel where I will clip off the different topics so you can watch them there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.